Okay. So here we are doing the threading. I guess it is called. I guess it's still considered threading. We're gonna need the super readers for this. All right, we put this part together on the T-34-85 this morning, and then it looks like it popped off of this because putting the tension on this basically made it want it to break out, I guess. So we just re-glued it, and hopefully it's weld cemented it back in. Looks pretty good. Now you don't want to reinforce it with this stuff, because if you reinforce it with this stuff, then it's not going to work. It reminds me, I just bought some super glue and I didn't bring it down. I ended up getting salt for the what do you call that thing? The water softener. Water softener salt. I hope I didn't leave it in the cart. Oh well. Shit happens. Old people problems. So again, this one's not going to fit on there. Either it's flush here, and then it's warped out of whack here. So we're going to go ahead and re-glue this. I prefer using the weld cement because you can keep applying it over and over again. It's not like if you use super glue and it busts out of the super glue, then you've got to scrape the super glue off and then hope that you can get that under control. So we're going to go ahead and do this other side, and then we're going to move to the other and do the track on the other T-34-85. So we'll apply this to both sides, and it meets nicely here. Now, the tension that we put on the track turned out really nice. It's actually a little bit of a bubble there, and I like it. There isn't on the other side, just to show that it's, you know, it's kind of, the track has a mind of its own. It's not just super tight everywhere. All right, so this is the front side is where this is kind of incorrigible. Let's make sure this is lined up. Let's get a light where it's working here. Lined up where we want. This actually fits together really well, and it went together without a problem until I put the tension on it. Because when you put this on here, it wants to pull all the wheels together, and in doing so, they're attached well to the back of it, and it's wanting to warp the whole thing. So it's not a big deal. It's it just means I can't mess with this again tonight, which is fine, because what else would I do to this? Like, it's done, right? Other than painting it, we're done here. All right, so did we get one of these? We only got one of these. All right, cool. If I need to get another one. We're going to go ahead and attach this to the problem child side, which is this one over here. So these work nice because you're putting pressure on it to hold it in place, but you're not putting like a ton of pressure. Let's get this lined up first. It actually doesn't need that much pressure on it. Dial it back a little bit. Okay, it's fitting good on the back. Maybe a little bit less. Don't mind the wife. She's just putting bits of humans down the garbage disposal. It's funny until it really happens. It's okay. They were bad people. That's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. Okay, so we're going to let this sit overnight. It's just pipe cleaners. I don't know that somebody ever uses a pipe to clean. I don't know, what pipes would you clean? Like the smoking pipe, like the Sherlock Holmes pipe. Matthew Peptis, welcome, man. Welcome back. Oh, let me get the commentary correct here. Let's get all messages. All right. So this T-34 is done basically. Now we'll need to do the same thing with these tracks. And this one's a little trickier. And the reason why this is a little trickier is the tracks I'm going to use for this one are not made for this vehicle. Well, let me find where the other one is. There it is. They're made for a larger model, slightly larger model. And these were put in hot water and they shrank. So luckily, they should give pretty close results. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to staple these together because I think that I think they're pretty loose. I mean, I think they're pretty tight. Still, let me confirm that. And this one twisted too. So it's not completely straight. It's twisted a little bit. So we're going to be fighting that noise all the time. But this tank did not come with an extra set of tracks. I just so happened to have this extra set of tracks. Okay, so this one, we're going to need some play in it. So hopefully this is attached pretty tight. It is. I'm going to actually put the staple. Let's get this guy out of the way. Let's get some space to work with here. We're going to put the staple through this little flap onto here and barely attach it. Just enough to... We don't want to shrink this any more than we have to. So we're going to go ahead and... Actually, I don't know that it'll work that way. No, we're just going to put this through here and put this through the flap and see what we get. Okay, well that didn't work. So we'll try it again. The threading with this wire worked great. So that's not the issue, it's just getting this to the right length. I may have to close these up a little bit more than I'd want. Okay, we attached it there and it's barely attached. Okay, I think between those two, we'll be all right. Now, let's see if we can get this to behave. I think we can. Now I'm going to hold this in place as I put pressure on it, so it's not carrying that lateral pressure on it. Okay, go inside that. Go inside there. Okay, good. All right, so now we got this sloppy ass looking thing. Okay, but it's better than no track at all. So what we're going to do is, and this one I may actually have to do 3 on these instead of just 2. So we're going to start on the end. We're going to start on which side looks weaker. Probably the front one. And we're going to drill in here and just go from there. This is all about perseverance. And what we're going to do is we'll add a little bit of goop there. We'll put this on a stand. You won't even tell that that's there. All right. So we got our drill bit. We got our wire. A couple pieces of wire. Wire from Pakistan. We found out this morning. Okay, we're doing one in front and one below, one behind. Okay, so we're going to do, this is the one that's going to be in the front. Okay, and then one behind it. Jeez, release me. All right, I got those 2 that went in. And you know, this model that I got for a pittance, it was $2. It was $2 a tank model. And then there's 2 of them that came in here. However, there's only tracks for 1. So those are the tracks that we put on this morning. Okay. That goes all the way in. Goes through there. We'll feed the other end through this one. And the problem is the back of the center where it goes through the post is fatter. So as soon as you get close to that, it wants to kick it out. It's not difficult. You just got to be patient. And then when you're patient, it'll look great. As soon as I find the freaking hole. There it is. Okay. They're kind of self-sealing, so. Dude, it's like right there. Much easier with this than string. Well, you couldn't do this one with string. It just wouldn't work. Maybe we'll just drill over here. I want to engage this one because then it's basically what it'll do is it'll relieve some of the pressure on this, on that staple. Oh, did I pull that out by accident? Okay, well, let's pull enough of that through. We don't have to worry about that. We'll get it. It's either that or you don't do this, and you have a pair of tracks that just don't look believable. And we're going to do too good of a job painting this to deal with tracks that look unbelievable. Yeah, it's going to end up coming off of connecting here, but it's not a big deal. Happened on the other side. We are so back. Okay. Baby got back. Come on, stay out there. All right, well, this will work. Let's grab it. What are you working on today? T-34s, baby. Taking these old models. This one in particular is actually even the wrong, the wrong track from it, from another kit, because it didn't come with tracks. All right, now let me. Nah, we don't want to do it the other way around. So we don't want to tie it up here. We want the tie to be down there. I'm like, wouldn't it be easier to just come in through the bottom and then like, no, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't, because we don't want to tie in. All right, I got plenty of holes where this can go. All right, what do you drink? Not that kind of drink. I basically don't drink the other kind of drink. Although this would be the one that could have some vodka shots or something. All right, let's just go ahead and remove it. It fell off the other one in the morning. Yeah, the problem is these holes are way too self-sealing. So let me expand this one. Come on, right there where it needs to go. And this is why, kids, you should just buy 3D prints. You don't have to worry about this. You do have to clean out. You have to do a lot of cleaning of some annoying shit, though. Let's try it now. Boy, you're just being. I'm glad I didn't get that the thinner copper. I just used the one I had, or this would be worse. Dude, we're right there. It's right there. That's the problem, is the end bends and doesn't want to get in there. We will get this. And we won't even have to throw it against the wall. There we go. Okay. If you give up, this fucker wins. All right, now this is going to start alleviating some of the pressure on this. Let's mash this flush. let's make sure this is lined up with the teeth so that they'll go inside where they're supposed to. Okay, I'm going to leave this wire on there in case I need to tighten it down more. Okay, and then let's go to the other end. Now, what I maybe should have done is reduce the width of this track. But it's not that much wider. I mean, it's hardly any difference in width. I didn't want to weaken it. But that'll actually look just fine. Let's do another one here. What's everybody working on today? Seeing if I go crazy? I'm not going to go crazy. You have no idea how kind of a crazy job I have. This is like a cakewalk. This is a piece of cake. All right. All right, I want this one drilled right there. What's up, Dan? Yep. Dan, so you whetted my appetite to buy the thickness gauge you use, which I figured 0.01 is 30 gauge, right? This is 26, so it's a little thicker. I don't think I'm going to get the thinner one because what I just did in this particular track would be harder. I'm dealing with some really incorrigible tracks, but I wish it was black, and only because, well, I can get paint in there, but I'd prefer it being black. But then it might be harder to see, so maybe that's not a good idea. Anyways, I already have this material, so that's what we're gonna go with. And but this other side, it was a kind of a pain in the butt. I'm gonna stop doing it so close to the inside, too close to, because what happens is this center portion is fatter, so as soon as I push, it wants to go around it, and it's wanting to angle it like farther forward than it normally is. So let me see where it goes naturally. Well, not that far forward, but something like here. How you doing today, man? I can't wait to do the next tank, because the next tank is going to do something. I got to do something empowering with the next tank. Now, like painting. Oh, look at this. Dan's my lucky charm, man. Now, I had an unusually hard time with that one. Like, it shouldn't have been that difficult. All right. Now we can pull this down. I should have cut down the width. I should have not made it as wide because the teeth don't fit where it's supposed to be. The teeth are, it's just ever so slightly. We're going to roll with it now. Yeah, I like the idea of it being thinner, but I already have this, and I getting through these self-sealing tracks. That's what it is you make a hole in there. There we go. We're gonna have to do 3 here. And I actually like that there's a bow here. It looks believable. I couldn't have done this with the string though. I would have been, that would have been like Madman territory. Like they've come to take me away kind of stuff, you know. Let's see how this fits. I think I need to put a third one in the middle. Maybe not. We'll see how this looks. Did we just create a problem by this being too thick? No, we didn't. Let's see. If I put one in the middle, I'm gonna put one in the middle. It's gonna help hold this track together anyways. I went to Lowe's to get some salt for the water softener. Well, that sound like I live in a really rural place. No, we just happen to have a water softener, and we're on city water, and we still have a water softener. Hey, it's how the house came. And I bought super glue at Lowe's. I think I left it in the cart. It's $6 mistake. I'll keep making these old man issues, whatever. I don't feel old, but man, I'm sure acting like it sometimes. And I wasn't even distracted. Like I wasn't like listening to something or the bumbler. Come on. Surgical hemostats. Okay, let's see if we can use one of these halvesies. I should be able to do it. Although I'm gonna clean this end up a little bit. Yeah, painting. Painting's a piece of cake, man. For me, anyways, painting's a piece of cake. That's my jam. And I'm not bad at building stuff, but I got decades of painting really good looking stuff. Building really good looking things, I've just started. All right. We don't want to leak in this. Let's put it about. And let's enlarge it so I can see where the hell it is. See, like I've got it here, like I need like a third person to push it in. it's just too close to the tire to be able to. Come on, you're right there, you're right there, you're right there. Straighten this out. People say they don't like separate link tracks. What's wrong with you? That's the spot right there. Okay. Now we got to do the other side. Okay. Where does this naturally fall? When I first put together the half tracks that I had, they were 20 years old at that point, and I had given up on putting them together. These Eschi half tracks, not recently. I mean, like a while ago. Well, no, actually 3 years ago. I put some of them together, and let's think outside the box here, Tony. Let's cut that teeth off. So now it can fit in there. Anyways, about 4 years ago, I had given up on these half tracks because I was like putting the track on them. Then you put the tension on it. This is like 20 years ago. And it would break. And then I would glue this one and then pull on the other one and that one breaks. So I had both of either the idler or the sprocket wheel broken on it. So when I went back, I'm like, screw this. We're putting T-pins in there. Super glued up, drilled holes through it. They're not moving now. And that's like some empowering shit. Like you got something that's like being a bitch, like you can't use me. Like, yeah, you can. You're going to war, pal. And it was just some really empowering being able to do that. Okay, we got this side done. And this was the rough side. Pakistan made hemostats online for about $5 each or less in sets. What I want is a good pair of tweezers like this. Because these Swiss tweezers, I didn't buy them. I got them from my dad many years ago. What are they? What's the name of the brand? Peer, I think, Peer, like freaking $50. Now they're worth $200. Okay, you better not lose them though. But I'd like some that had like a little. I'd like to get another pair that come down to a small tip like this, and then put a little bit of hot glue gun on both of them and make my own grabby ones. But I haven't come across that. I bought some other ones that are cheap, and they're too blunty. I got some that already have the rubber on them, and they don't touch at a tip. They're like useless. You know, I didn't pay anything for them though. But that's what happens when you don't pay anything for stuff. Sometimes that's what you get. Nothing. A whole lot of nothing. A nothing burger. A nothing burger with all the fixins. And now this I've got. This set of tracks is massive. Wow, that's wacky. That's wacky. The other one wasn't big enough, and this one is like extra big. Okay, well that's where it needs to be. So we're just going to staple it where it closes. Got it. Good thing I don't have a problem putting these things on stands. Otherwise, I'd be like, no, you're going to see it. No, you ain't going to see shit. Oh, but it's going to be thicker. How the hell is that going to work? Hold on a second here. Let me think about this. Now we should be okay. And put another one for good measure. And if this one breaks off, it breaks off. This is going to sit overnight. Oh, see, I need to release some of this pressure. It's already. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. We're golden. And I have a tendency to want to glue the two halves together. I'd rather try to manipulate getting into places than have to stop, scrape off paint, and like getting glue on something that I painted. That's a no-no. We don't have time. We don't have time for that. I value my time I spend painting on something. Picked up all your money at a local military surplus store. The scissors and tweezers are great, also, but nice to look at them in hand as opposed to a grainy. Exactly. You don't know what you're going to get. Oh, so Army surplus places have. Do we have one? Do we have an Army? No, our Army surplus place got bought out. Had a couple of lesbians that ran it, which is fine. You know, they actually had good selection, and then they sold out. The lesbians sold out. I like going in there, and people could play. Other prices are out of skyrocketing. I don't think so. You know, people just want to get a $600 pistol for $350. Well, I'm sorry, that just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. This is way too loose. Way too loose. We need to undo this and retighten this. Yeah, we don't have an Army surplus place anymore. Gun-toting lesbians. Why not? Only in Florida, not in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, we need to make it tighter. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. And I'm going to remove this first tooth. Let's check it out. Man, it needs to be past this next tooth. Wait, we were doing it this way. We wanted this side up on top of it. Okay. We want to staple it like there, even with this tooth. I'm not going to cut it down. I'm not going to make it less thin because then it won't match one side to the other. And I'm not going to unwind that one. I know, now it's too tight. God bless it. I could just remove the teeth on there, but they're going to fit inside. Let's hold that in place. How you can say separate link track is more difficult than this? Just I don't know. I don't understand. Okay. Good, we got that where we want it. All right, now I know it's a little thicker here. It doesn't matter. That's going to be in the gap. That's where we put there'll be some goop there. All right. I'm going to go grab a soda. I'll be right back. All right. Still the easiest thing I've done today. All right, so we're going to put, now here's where we're going to get creative. Since it's a problem for this tooth to fit in here, then I'm going to go ahead and remove it. And now, it's not a problem at all to go down to that point. Right? Drill there. Let me out! That's why it's difficult, is that same whole let me out. Okay. It's going to naturally want to go there. Come on. piece of cake. All right. One of the things I was doing over the weekend, threading, like the last one I did was the most difficult one. And you would think, oh, that's the one that everything goes right. But it just has to do with how obstinate the track happens to be. Okay. We're going to go just inside there. This is worth every little amount of time I'm doing on it, spending on it. That's how long it should take. Okay. And remove that there, and then this one as well. Boy, if I switch to 1/35 scale, I'll be like, this is a piece of cake. But the 1/35 scale tanks have a couple things going against them. First thing they got going against them is they're too expensive. And like you only have one. So like I've got so many T-34s. And I got them because it was an estate sale. And this guy's family is just getting rid of all this stuff. And I got them really cheap. And I'm like, well, what do you need so many T-34s? I'm like, I don't need any of them. But if I want to paint like a cool paint scheme, I don't have to cogitate for days which one to do. I could just do the first one that comes to mind because I got another one. I got a whole bunch of other ones to do. You know, like all my hopes aren't on like a certain one. So you can just do them. I forget how many T-34s, is 85s. This will make of mine. It's over 10. I think it's 11 actually. Look at that. First try goes in. Blammo. All the way through. This is how long it should take. That first one just took way too long. Look at that. What's up, Justinian? Back for more, eh? Had to get a little bit of a later start. My mom's having surgery tomorrow. It's, I mean, I guess it's major, but it's on her knee. So it's not in her head or anything like that. Just get all cranked up. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, this looks good. Other than this hump of plastic here, that's going to be hidden in the stand. And we removed the teeth in a few strategic places. Yeah, she needed to. I think it was like she had this part of her cartilage where she just worn out. She just worn it out. So pretty routine surgery, but I want to go. Yeah, she just lives 15 minutes away. She lives in the old neighborhood. Actually, we were living there, and she moved 7 houses down from us. So she would always be like Gladys Kravitz, like, oh, I saw somebody was at your house or whatever. I'm like, holy shit, woman, you got nothing to do? So it's not a bad surgery, so to speak. But I mean, I guess it's bad to even have to have one in the first place, but it's not a bad one. All right, now what we're going to do is, I know this doesn't have a whole lot of flex in it at all. Didn't seem like this one flexed as much as the other one. Oh, easy, 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 easy. It's nice to be like, oh man, these models are $2 a piece, and you open it and holy shit, there's 2 of them in here, and then oh man, there's only 1 set of tracks. And then come up with a solution for that. That's why I pay myself the big bucks. And the story of these tracks are I had gotten these a long time ago on eBay. I wanted a pair of T-34s for Kursk. And being an ignorant person, I ended up getting these 2, and they're actually the ones that have the cupola on them, which is post-Kursk. I'm like, man, I don't even want to build these things. And then I was like, all right, we'll just build them anyways, and just run with it. And then the tracks were all slack. And this was a while ago, a long while ago. Oh yeah, just heat them in hot water. And I guess the water was too hot, and it shrank them. So that's all right. Now I have them here for when I got this model. What time is it? Oh man, I don't feel like it's 9:30. I feel like it's earlier than that. You know what that means? You guys hang out with me. We'll just roll right into something else. Keep building. All right. You hang with me. We'll do it. We're doing something different next. No, it's still a tank. It's not that different. It's not that different. I got these Shermans. They're not next. But I got these Shermans that don't have the back plate. Neither one of them. And I can't just copy the one from this one because I built it. I didn't realize that they didn't. that both of the other kits didn't have them. So hopefully at the next model show, I'll find another one of these cheap, maybe $4 or something like that. Buy it, and then make a copy of the back, and then cast it or whatever. Going through some modeling supplies. Yep. Well, if I never painted these things, which isn't the case, but if I never painted them, I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. And that isn't the case with me. I build shit. Like I said, I got like 10 T-34s painted. And they're freaking awesome. This is so heavy. And the cool thing about it is they're 1/76 scale. So the fact that these are 1/76 is perfect, because that's what the rest of mine are. I don't know that I need to. Holy crap. I don't think that I need to use this. I'm going to leave that be. Okay. So what are we doing next? Well, it's not what you think it is. I'm not going to build that dragon kit next. The Farfignugan thing. What is it? Neubau Fahrzeug. Number 2. No, we're not doing it next. We're gonna do a kit that probably some people have had fits with. Let's lose this. We're not gonna need this for the next kit. Well, what does that mean? It's separate link track. Recovery from surgery just takes longer for us older folks. Biggest issue we had at a hip. Why did you have to have a hip? Just bone on bone? It just happens. Because I needed another check 38 from Attack. Okay, old crusty ass directions. And we're going to have to clean this area up over the weekend. The weekend's almost upon us. Both of those T-34-45s are going to have whitewash on them. Box smell good? I don't know. We're not going there, man. That's some toxic shit you're talking about. Somebody's been paying attention. Are these from Eastern Europe? Because Eastern Europe their instructions are not the best. And yes, I'm lumping all of Eastern Europe together because they all have the same sins. Well, where are the other push pins? I'll walk around here barefoot, I'll find them. Oh, you know the secret. Stop looking for them. All right, we have a full decal sheet of this. These suck. What do people think you can get away with using a decal sheet that all the numbers aren't individual? You have to cut them all out. We are not smelling the box. That's a way to have issues. Now, it's interesting that the box does show check 38 in a 3 color, which is just weird. Mine will not be in 3 color. Oh yeah, multiple pieces. This is what I'm looking forward to, though. And I'm not being facetious. Like, I got that shit down. Something years of racing motocross has claimed both my hips to aftermarket replacement. 50 years? Oh, man. Now, we built a lot of these. Let's take a look at what these are like. Well, they definitely look Eastern European. The gun is a flash hog. Got a lot of got a lot of flash on there. Does it have a turret that doesn't open? It's a turret that doesn't open. Okay. The tools remind me of the PST tools. Really almost barbaric stuff on here. It'll look fine. It'll look better than the one from Raffam. The Raffam. Oh, Marcus. There's the underside. I don't know if the rivet pattern is correct. Okay, first thing we got to do is pull the hole out. Oh, we're not going to need that. We need this one. Oh, it's cutting into the side of this. Well, that's poorly designed. This is, I've never built an attack models. And I'm not going to say I never will, because for $2, I'll fucking build another one. Hey, I don't need another one of these things. I got like 10 of these as well. Let's see, I have 3. The Raffam one's 4. Jose gave me 6. Or did he give me 9? 6. Yeah, I got 10 of them. This 11. We're going to do a little history program on the weekend, meaning I'll sign on with my computer. And I got some really interesting stuff that I found. Super interesting. I found it today. And I just got to share it with you guys. It's super, super cool. And it might actually be a scenario that I'll play. It's all tanks. And I don't want to steal my own thunder, but it's super cool. It's going to be worth the wait. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull these 2 halves, and we're going to put all of these wheels on here before we assemble them. That way we try not to put any more stress on this. This is not a very good model. This looks like it's almost made out of wax. So much so that I don't know what kind of freaking plastic this is. This is weird. You raced motocross for 50 years, and I'll never get on a moped again. Well, you know what? I can't get in a moped accident if I don't get on a moped. Well, I guess I could be a pedestrian and a moped running at me. There's always that. And we'll have to see how the fit and finish is on this. Although one thing I tell you right now I don't like, there's no little ledge for this to sit on. Okay. It's just like, does this attach beside it? Does it attach underneath? Not a fan of these. Ace is actually the one I've heard a lot of like bad things about. So I don't know if this is lines up. I'm going to go ahead and put this front piece on here before we glue it together. That's piece number 4. There it is, piece number 4. Racing is low and slow at this age, but still a fun outing from time to time. Yeah, I had a bad experience when I was on vacation. And I shouldn't say bad experience because it sounds like something horrible happened. It didn't. I was being safe, and then something happened even being safe. So I'm like, you know what? That's it. Let's not mess with that. Okay, so this one goes like so. And luckily I was the only one that got hurt. And it's good because I was the one that was driving. And I'll tell you the story if you want to hear it. If not, I won't tell you the story. It's not very exciting. But it is a story. My stories aren't super exciting. I haven't had a crazy life. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. There's plenty of people out there that have had lives that make up for mine. Let's hear. Okay. So I'm on vacation. So one of the things that we cruise a lot. And one of the things that I wanted to do is my daughter was getting older. Is I wanted to take her on a moped because there's this one place that we stopped in Cozumel, and we don't do any of the excursions. We go and rent mopeds and drive around the island and find places to snorkel, etc. And I always want to do this with my daughter. You know, like she's little, she's like 10 or something like that. So we go on this cruise, and my wife and I are each out on a moped, and she's taking her friend, my daughter's friend, with her, my wife, and I, of course, I've got the daughter. Like I'm not taking the friend, I'm taking the daughter, and we go to a couple places to snorkel. Then we go to this other one to do jet skiing because it's not jet skiing, the wave runners, bombardiers, or whatever those are called. Not jet ski proper. Jet skis are, I think, ones you have to be on your knees or whatever. But you sit and you do the little thing. And you can't really do that in the States and it'd be affordable. I said I was going to put the wheels on afterwards. I changed my mind. So we find this beach where you can do the jet skiing, and I don't like to swindle people, and I don't appreciate being swindled. But this whole thing. Well, how much the wave runners are? Well, this month. Well, let me go talk to my boss, and it's just it's just a bullshit thing, right? And we speak Spanish fluently, so it's like we're not going to pull one over on us, and we're dealing with them in Spanish. Anyways, we agree on a price. It's for half hour. They bring the wave runners. We do the wave runner. They're on the beach. And I was like, because I even looked at my watch. All right, it's going to be, so at 12 after, I'm bringing him back. Yeah, okay. So as soon as we get out there, I see on shore like waving at us. And I'm like, he's trying to fuck us around, come up with some bullshit thing. We have very limited time, and we have a half hour, but we'd like to use all of it. And fuck this. We'll come back. We know what we're doing. We agreed on the time. They're probably going to play some bullshit game. So we came in like 4 minutes early, right? This is not our first time jet wave runnering or whatever. And we came in like 4 minutes early. He's like, hey, we were waving you off. I said, yeah, I know you were full of shit. We agreed on what time it was going to be. It's like, oh, no, well, you just went out of the area you were supposed to be in. You went out of the area we told you could be in. I'm like, it's from here to the dock to that. Like we talked about it. No, it was just, he was literally pointing like, you can only be on the beach like 50 feet this way and 50 feet that way. I'm like, there's nothing here. It's like a beach or whatever. He's coming up with an excuse. He's like, well, I'm going to have to charge you more money. I'm like, well, you can charge me more fucking money, but I'm not going to pay you more money. That's not what we agreed on. I mean, you can call the cops here, whatever the fuck you want, but we're not going to pay you more money. Anyway, so left a bad taste in my mouth. He didn't get more money. He got his wave runners. We go back on our mopeds to drive. And, I'm not used to dealing with issues when I'm on vacation. And I think because I had been on that wave runner driving kind of intensely for half an hour, and I think the throttle on it is backwards than the moped. I'm driving the moped out of there, whatever. And we get to this place like we're getting ready to cross on this highway. It's divided. It's divided? Anyways, it had a median. So we needed to make a left to go out of there. And I get to, I go to the middle, and I get ready to turn. There's no traffic coming. And something happens. I don't know exactly what happens, but I give it gas. I give the moped gas, and I give it more gas than I should give it, I'm guessing. And I overcompensate. My daughter falls off. We go from zero. So we're basically like starting off. And she falls off the back, doesn't get hurt. I catch myself off balance, fall down, don't get hurt, but somehow I clip my toe and I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the fender on the moped is damaged. And of course, we're 15 miles from where we have to return the moped. And I'm shook because I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm trying to put two and two together. I'm not a risk person where, you can be safe and have fun. And it was just, I think what it was is one, the throttle's this way and the other one's the other way. And whichever way, I got confused with my muscle memory and I made that error. So I'm like, fuck, how are we going to get back? So we get back carefully. I lose a flip-flop, like it rips the flip-flop off. Yeah, what am I doing wearing flip-flops? I'm fucking vacation, I'm going like 30 miles an hour on a fucking island, which is, anyhow. So we ended up having that return, and the guy ended up paying him $50 or whatever to repair the fender or whatever. And it's like, I'm walking back to the ship without shoes, like I'm a drunk person. I had like nothing to drink. So my daughter doesn't want her going on a moped again. She had a great time up to that point. She didn't even get hurt. She fell off the back. Of course, we're wearing helmets. And I'm not wearing helmets on a fucking bicycle when I'm riding around in the neighborhood, okay? But on a moped, yeah, I'm wearing a helmet. And Yeah, I pretty much cured that. That's my big exciting story. But it was like I think what it was the throttle was backwards. I think the moped's like this, like forward to give it more gas, and the other one is the opposite way. And yeah, just a muscle memory thing. And it's funny because I had ridden once I got back on the moped. I had ridden from there a couple of miles because it was like there's like a little coast road that goes to where the coast is. When you get to the main highway, I rode that fine, and then I went. I guess that extra like stress of like, all right, let's get up and go. And I think I gave it too much gas and tried to let off the gas. I don't know what happened. I don't because there's no brakes on the other thing. So I don't know. Well, whatever. Keeps my daughter from going off with some guy on a motorcycle. You know, she's like, I don't want to go on a motorcycle. And I said, I'm not going to go on one either. Don't worry. You know, it's frustrating that when you consider yourself to be a pretty safe person and something like that happens. Like, man, I was just trying to be safe. It's like, man, if I can't trust me, I can't trust anybody. So that's my exciting story. Sorry, there was no, didn't have to beat some drug lords off or something like that. But I'm not one of those people that likes to barter. Like, well, how much is it? Oh, okay. It's either I'm fine with that price or I'm not. Not like, okay, well, you know, you're going to do this, or that's how you end up getting stabbed. And I've had people say, no, no, you got to barter because they're ripping you off. I'm like, dude, you go to buy a place and people are buying liquor at like 60 or 70% off what you pay in the States. How is the guy ripping you off if you're just giving him what he's asking for? You know, it's not like the dude's made of money, man. He probably has 6 kids or whatever, man. Give him a break. He's ripping you off. How is he ripping you off? You're getting a hell of a deal. And they're getting exactly what they asked for. So I'm not a barterer. Maybe if I was buying 10 of them, maybe. I don't know. Guy's trying to run a business, man. Take it easy on him. Ripping you off. But I don't know. Those same people that probably are like, that guy's ripping you off would be the first people that would like give money to somebody that's homeless. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Guy's sitting on his ass. Can't recommend these. Can't recommend these. It's not terrible, and we'll get through it, but can't recommend this model. No little ledge for this to sit on. You just have to pray you get it right. Be fine. Anyway, sorry my story wasn't better. I could have just invented it, but I haven't had crazy things that have happened in Mexico. Well, the craziest thing that happened in Mexico is when I went last summer and we couldn't leave the airport because the protesters had blocked it. The excruciatingly nonviolent protesters, like Mexican teachers. Ooh, not exactly the boogeyman. But I don't think we're going to be back to Mexico. No, can't go to a place where there's no order. Well, there's nothing. People just shut down the airport. Well, what are you going to do? Well, we can't do anything. You can't do anything at all. You can't just say, "Hey, you can protest, but go over there." No, they can just decide to block everything out. I don't need to go to a country like that. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, time to put these on. Actually, I got a couple more whole pieces. We'll put those on to strengthen this thing. This is number 5. Yep. Number 5 is alive. My story is so unexciting, it put you guys to sleep. Oh, well. I believe that was the trip that when we went there, we actually had 2 incidents on flights. I'd never seen that before. Like 2 people on two different groups of people on 2 different flights wanted to just act inappropriately on the plane. Like, I'm sorry, the days of acting like inappropriate on a plane, and they were before takeoff, so it wasn't like, it wasn't like we had a situation in midair. Yeah, you don't need to threaten my life when we're on a plane. I'll take that shit personal, especially because my girls are there too. I mean, one guy, we were flying from, what was it, Atlanta to Texas, somewhere to Texas, Jacksonville to Texas, something like that, to do the connecting flight. And this guy in a cowboy hat. It's always a guy in a cowboy hat. No, I don't know. I don't have any stories about guys in cowboy hats. But this guy who happened to be wearing a cowboy hat was talking all kinds of stuff. And this one guy, I guess, called him out because he was pushing conspiracy theories or something like that. So he got escorted off the plane. He didn't never get to fly off with us. And then on the Texas to Mexico route, there was some dude and his redneck family that had too much to drink, and they were upset because they would not serve him another drink before takeoff. And I mean, he was like ugly. Not like he was going to take a swing at somebody, but he wasn't keeping quiet about it. But let's just say they all missed their flight. You can't do shit there. There's too many genuinely crazy people. You don't need to act like a crazy person when you're on a plane. And you're going to put the same category that you don't need to be in if you want to make it to your destination. Now, if you don't care if you make it to your destination, well, hell, fuck it, go on a tear. I hope the separate link track is better quality than this. I am not impressed at this point. Piece number 6. This one right here. Well, one thing I've noticed is there hasn't been a thank you. There hasn't been a surge. Fumblefuck. There hasn't been a surge of people on this channel out of nowhere. And I'm wondering, oh, this just fits terrible. How are you supposed to? If that fits like there, then this doesn't fit like this at all. What a bunch of trash. Now, I'm going to go ahead and glue this first because I don't have much of a choice where it's going to go. Anyways, I was saying there's not a big surge of people coming out of nowhere onto the channel. So I'm wondering if the little boost from having the vertical video is over with. And if that's the case, so we'll just go back to doing things how we used to do them on the computer. That way your video is not back asswards, not reversed. Which is really annoying. Yeah, I'm not a left-handed painter and model builder. So if it looks like my left hand's been getting kind of busy, the video's reversed. Well, that actually fits okay. Yeah, so I don't know if they're still doing the search from the shorts or what, the surge from shorts or something like that. Okay. All right, running gear. No, maybe that's a sign I should stop. It's funny, of all the extra pieces, I can actually got an extra one of those. It's probably underneath there, isn't it? No, there it is. Oh, it looked like it had two halves kind of molding on there, but it doesn't. Thank goodness. Although these aren't too bad because there aren't too many wheels on here. It'll turn out just fine. It's just kind of annoying that one of these companies looks like that has very little quality control. Shit, it's after 10. We'll go ahead and trim this off, and then we'll leave this be. Pick it back up in the morning. How much of a purchase can this get on here? Not very much. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and glue these down. Yeah, I got a lot of check 38 bottoms because I got all those check 38s I was just talking about. Plus I got a martyr set. Also based on check 38s. Okay, that's where we're going to stop for tonight. We'll be back in the morning and go from there. All right, folks, have a good evening. Bye-bye.